Overthinking is bad for your mental health and your happiness. Break the pattern of overthinking and overanalyzing and worrying about the future by taking action every day and having a structure to your day or to your life. So obviously this is a worldwide phenomenon. Everybody on planet Earth suffers with anxiety, overthinking and overanalyzing. But some have it worse than others. I would say that I've got it to the most severe level. That's probably the main reason why I've been able to teach people for the best part of 11 years. If I didn't suffer with anxiety and overthinking and worrying and OCD and all these obsessive compulsive fears and thoughts, I wouldn't have been able to help all the people that I've helped, and I wouldn't have been able to make life-changing changes in my life. And this has been a continuation. This is every single day. So I'm not just talking in past tense, what I did 5 years ago for me or for someone, which I always appreciate. This is a daily thing for me. I was running today and I was thinking, having a little laugh in my head. People talk about 6 weeks programs and the weekends and month, and they're all great, and I do those in my business. But I was really, the honest truth is, it's not 6 weeks, it's not a month, it's for life. You know, for as long as we're living, we're going to be battling every single day with one anxiety or another. Now, of course, I don't mean to sound doom and gloom. This is really positive if you can understand what I'm saying and practice it and apply it. You get the experience. If you have periods where you don't have anxiety, I have those honeymoon periods where I'm not OCD, I'm not compulsive, I'm not paranoid, I'm not freaking out over everything. But it doesn't always go like that, which is why you've got to have tools in place when those attacks come on, anxiety, depression, for a lot of people, suicidal thoughts or paranoia or huge self-doubt, just worrying about everything. You break out of that by taking action. And I was saying this when I first started teaching all those years ago up until now. When I struggled so bad in my 20s, right? I was suicidal in my 20s at a certain point, and I didn't know how to solve it. I was looking for answers, science, books, videos. Nothing was really helping, right? Today, I think the stuff today is brilliant. I was going online the other day about OCD anxiety. So many good stuff out there. But when I was looking in my 20s back then, there wasn't much stuff. All this science, this, that, it's made it worse. So through trial and error, you know, through desperation, through praying, through taking advice from my dad, through trying to figure out, I found the solution. I'm not saying it's easy, and the solution is take action. Simple things beat anxiety and depression and paranoia, or just overexcited. Some days are so happy, you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down, you're bipolar, you're up, and it's difficult. It's simple things. You know, it's not overthinking, it's starting the video speaking. And that's the exercise that I really want to give you today, guys and girls. I'm practicing it now. So instead of saying, oh, when I put the camera on, what am I going to say, what will I think, what if I just put the camera on. Obviously, I've been doing this for a long time. It doesn't mean it's easy. Some days it's really easy, some days it's not. It depends how I feel. Just put the camera on, speak, tell the truth, have fun, be yourself, and then things work out. You feel a lot better, you get out of your head. So I wake up in the morning, I kind of got a routine. I wake up about 9 a.m, 10 a.m. I wake up, I get straight out of bed, shower, clean up a bit, go straight for a coffee. I do my gratitude, I say my prayers, I listen to a bit of music. I do that every single day, and for me that's not like it's punishment, I love it. I go for a run, I do a 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes an hour run. I just put my shorts on, I put my trainers on. I don't care if my hair's messy, if I don't feel good, I don't feel attractive, I just go and do the run. I've trained myself. It's one of the best disciplines that I've learned, right? I'm not the only one. People have been saying this before I was live, and they'll be saying it long after. But you've got to learn this for yourself, right? There's lots of things that you know that someone else said, but it doesn't mean anything if you haven't learned it. So that's why I always kind of repeat these videos, because you need to repeat them. But it takes people time to practice it, and you might get it. Someone else is new to the channel, they don't know how to do this. So you've got to discipline yourself to stop thinking so much. We're going to do that anyway. Our mind is constantly running and thinking. Already going to do that. You haven't got to try but you've got to try and break the chain of thinking if you want to have any sort of peace in your life, any confidence. So that goes with everything. Guys do it with women. Overthinking, instead of just going, look, I think you're nice to meet you. My name's Jonathan. What's your name? Oh, great to meet you. What do you do? What are you interested in? Would you like to come out with me? Simple. If she says yes, it's great, we'll feel great. If she says no, brilliant, you tried. rejection's a part of life, move on. All right, be a gentleman. Okay, that's fine. If you don't want to go out with me, have a great day, go and ask someone else out. Someone's going to say yes eventually. It's impossible that it's just going to be no forever. And if that was the case, then you're doing something right. You're not presenting yourself in the right way. You're not being honest. You're not being confident. You're not being respectful. You're not being kind. You're not being yourself. And that's when you need to obviously get some coach or get help or get a friend or get some advice from your parents, from people that know more than you do. So it is a humbling thing, all this. We have to face the fears. Otherwise, it's not going to change. The OCD, the anxiety, the paranoia, the worrying is just going to ruin your life. It's just going to stop you living. So this is a daily practice. When you practice it, you feel good, you feel relaxed. I never feel more relaxed when I go and take action. If I go and go to work, coach a client, I go and see my mum and dad, I go for a run, I make a YouTube video, I go to the gym, I go and meet a friend, you know, and then I can sit down and just be comfortable with myself and deal with my mind. Because that's where people struggle with, especially people like us who have got more severe anxiety disorders, right? I don't want to label people in that way because I don't put labels on myself, but just to make people understand, some people have got anxiety worse than others. And I know that because I know that I've had extreme anxiety. And I've been coaching in this area, as I said, for over a decade. But the good news is, again, not putting anyone down, people that have usually got extreme insecurities and anxieties more than the average person, they usually go on and become more successful, more confident, and they usually become more grateful, in my experience, right? So I'm not nitpicking, I'm just telling the truth. I'm trying to give hope. I'm trying to say, if you're someone that's always less confident than most people that you know, or if you've got more anxiety or you're more insecure, because that's how I was my whole life, for the first 20 years of my life. But I was so driven, I was so determined to get confidence and feel good about myself in a healthy way. That's why I went further than a lot of people. It's not because I'm better, or it's not because anyone else is better than me, because the way I believe my values are, no one's better than me and I'm not better than anybody else. But I believe in myself. And I try to teach that as best as I can to all my clients or anybody that I can help, for you guys and girls. And that's real humility, where you don't put anybody above you. You're not below anybody, but you're not arrogant. You're not like egotistical in an unhealthy way where you start thinking that you're better than people. Because if you do that, you're gonna pay the price for that. And I've done that myself, right? None of us are perfect, right? But again, that's where you got to be careful with the overthinking. Because if you start getting into, well, I don't want to upset people, I'm not perfect, I don't want to be arrogant, you've got to just cut that out and say, I'm just going to be confident, believe in myself and be a good person, do the best I can. Got to live a life. At some point you've got to make a decision. So you can kind of hear me talking through the neurosis, the OCD, the excessive unhealthy thinking. I know I've suffered with it all my life. But my story to share with people is not that I'm perfect, but I am confident. Not despite my anxiety, but because I faced it thousands of times. I had to every day. This is for life. I've accepted that. I've accepted that by accepting it and building a relationship and not being ashamed. And now I can speak about it publicly, and I don't start panicking or stuttering or feeling deeply ashamed. I feel quite the opposite. But it's taken me about 20 years to get to this point, and to continue to share my story and help other people and give them confidence. But confidence isn't going to come on its own. It's not going to come through not getting uncomfortable. It's not going to come through people criticizing you. I was running today and I was thinking this in my head, and I'm going to make a video. I was built on criticism. I wouldn't have made any money. I wouldn't have made extra money above minimum wage if I didn't get harshly criticized to the point where it put me in suicidal places when I wasn't as strong as I am now. I wouldn't have got a girlfriend. My relationship, my lovely relationship, my girlfriend all those years ago was built on criticism, abuse, being bullied and being made to feel awful about myself. But then rising above the opinions of other people. Another thing to add when I was running today I want to share. I think it's important, I try and live my values like this as much as I can, best I can. It's really important to care about people. If you don't care about anybody, it's a horrible life. And I do understand it's not easy and people are in that place. But it's important to care about people, but it's very important to not care what they think. I've trained myself, I practice every day. I don't care what any of you think about me, and I don't care what the outside world thinks about me. But I do care about you, I do care about people. So there's a difference, isn't there, between Because I said to a client before he did get it, he's a lovely guy, he's younger than me, I said, I just want to be careful, I want to set a good example to you. I don't want you to have the attitude that you don't care about anyone because you listen to someone on YouTube who said, don't care about what anyone thinks, because you're not going to get far in life, and that's not what I want, that's not what I'm teaching you. It's important that you do care about your family, you do respect people, very important, you treat people how you want to be treated, but you've got to stop giving a damn about what they think about you. Because for as long as you care what they think, you're going to be in the wrong job, wrong relationships, wrong finances, no self-esteem, no confidence, and awful mental health. It's not fair on anyone. So there is a middle ground. There is a balance of having self-confidence, believing in yourself, not needing other people to approve you and accept you, but also being a good person, being a strong person. And I feel like I set that example. But none of us are perfect. For those people that want to come with harsh criticism, it's fine, I understand. People are going to do that anyway. I never said I was perfect, but I don't spend time worrying about what you think about me. And there's a lot of good people out there. And for those people that are not ready to change, then you've got to, all I could do is you just pray. It's none of my business. You just hope that they come to a point where they're going to make positive changes. Sorry, the light. It did for me for a long time. People feel like they've got to be perfect before they move forward, and you don't. And let's say perfectionism doesn't exist, right? Not in human beings anyway. But that's not an excuse to not be the best person you can be. That's more than good enough. It's better than nothing. Certainly better than nothing. So if you go on the premise that, well, I'm not going to move forward because I'm not perfect yet, I'm not going to look for a relationship yet, I'm not going to get in shape, I'm not going to be kind to people yet, I don't feel like it, no one deserves it, poor me, or I'm not going to work on my business ideas yet, or I'm not going to move forward, or I'm not going to go and see my family. When then? You'll be there forever. If you're waiting to be perfect to move forward, you're going to wait a hell of a long time. But you've got to move forward and learn and get out there and be brave. That's what being a man is. None of us are perfect, but if we go on that, we're not going to leave our house. So you're good enough as you are. I know that you're good enough. You're definitely good enough. And if I can do this with all my OCD, with all my insecurities, with all my anxiety issues, I wouldn't say I've got social anxiety anymore, thank God, but I had it for most of my life, right? Let's just say for argument's sake, yep, social anxiety I've had, yep, paranoia, yep, insecurities, yep, panic attacks, yep, OCD, yep, worrying about what people think about me, yep, anxiety issues, financial, everything, frightened of traveling, I had it all, suffered of all of it. If I can achieve what I've done, and let's go by the surface shallow stuff, making some money, building a following, helping people, getting a girlfriend, traveling, getting on better. This is really important actually. It's not with my mum, with my dad, breaking out of a lot of things, losing weight, telling my story, making some great friends, having good experiences, having some nice clothes, being a public speaker, you know, being an excellent speaker and being a better person than I was, getting out of a life of drugs, crime, fights, violence. That was my old past. I got out of that life. So if I can do that with all my issues and being messed up mentally, what is the excuse for any of you doing it? Most of you should do better than me. I said most of the clients that I work with now, they go way further than me. I'm well happy for that. That's in my prayers anyway. That's my personal thing anyway. I don't need to share that with anyone. So you should do better than me. I'll be happy if all of you do go further than me, have less issues. So there's no excuses if I can do it. But I was very determined from a young age, you know. My dad installed courage in me as a young kid, and it took me a while to access that courage. And I've got my own strength. I've got my own department. Contradictory to all my issues and hang-ups and my worries, maybe more than the average person, I've got a folder. I've got a certain place in my heart, I've got a certain place that I can go to that's always there. And that's where I draw my most strength from when I need it, for myself, for others, in anything. If I want to get ahead in life, so I can go there. I know where that place is and access that courage. Maybe some people, you know, everyone's different. They might not have had the dad that I had, or the boxing, or that we're all different. But everyone's got their own talents. So that's what enabled me to be the person that I am and continue and come back from a mental health breakdown. You see what happens when you start thinking, you tell the truth, you feel good about yourself, and all these things come out. And I was running today, just having a little bit of a joke, but I was serious, and I was running and I rehearsed motivational videos. All of you would relate. Anyone with OCD, anyone with anxiety would relate to having conversations with themselves. They say it's the first sign of madness. Might be, I think it's the first sign of being insane. So I was running and I was saying, we're working, hard work, dedication. Why are we working to become better? Who are we becoming better for? not for ourselves, for other people. I'll go into that in another video. It's a very deep video about just doing things for yourself, which everybody does, because they're selfish initially. I did it as well. Until you wake up a bit, maybe you get humbled and you think, life ain't fun, or I'm living with regret, or I feel awful that I've been selfish. It's not a bad thought to have. Again, not OCD, balance. You don't want to destroy yourself, but it's good to recognize I'm kind of selfish. I'm selfish. I need to be less selfish towards everybody, my family. And then of course, when you help other people, I always believe that God helps us, that we get help. And it feels great anyway. I always feel my best when I'm not selfish. But sometimes you've got to be selfish, because some people give, and they don't look after themselves, and that's not good. Miyagi, Karate Kid, hey Daniel-san, must find balance. When find balance, everything work out. Karate. Balance is key. So balance with anxiety, balance with caring about people, but not caring about what they think. Balance with when to give and when to say boundaries. You're not bullying me, you're not taking advantage of me, enough is enough. So I think deep down we all know that, and if we don't know that, fine, we'll figure it out. So that's the video for today. This works in any area. Relationships, for men, for women that want to ask a guy out, 100% works. For men that want to ask a woman out, 100%. For people that are anxious with their family, with everybody, they can't get a house, it works. Talking on YouTube, there's no sparring, martial arts, boxing. What we're saying is the simple exercise of taking action, breaking the chain of thought. Because for as long as we're thinking, we're suffering. Especially in that sort of obsessive, fearful thinking, scared, worried all the time. It's not healthy. Of course, everybody has that. But breaking out of it and then having fun. And it's so simple that I don't even want to over-explain it, but it's complicated at times. Last thing I'm going to leave you with, something that I learned from my own experience in teaching. Can't beat the mind with more mind. The mind's so intelligent, it's so crafty. It wants to keep you alive, wants to keep you safe. It doesn't want you to do a YouTube video. It doesn't want you to go see a family. It doesn't want you to sell. It doesn't want you to ask someone out. It doesn't want you to do anything but stay put and survive, which is good because we need that to survive, but it overdoes it. Our evolution is an exaggeration why most people have got the anxiety and OCD, and why I battle with it every single day, most days. So we need a simple solution. What's that? We need to be stupid. Simple. Go for a run. Watch a movie. Meet a friend, meet your family. Enjoy life. Be grateful, be kind. Take action. Enjoy your life. Run, sing, skip, dance. Practical things, simple things that everybody, if I said to most people on the street now, I'm not going to do it. Might do it on another day, right? I'm not on my medication today. I'm off medication, a little bit of a joke. Another video for another story. If I said to someone, do you know what running is? People look at, what do they say? Are you crazy? Of course I know what running is. Okay. Do you know what socializing is? What's this guy talking about? He's lost his mind. Maybe I have. Do you know what having fun is? Do you know what being kind is? Do you know what simplicity is? Of course I do. Why don't you do it then? Why do some people don't do it? Fear, anxiety. Just because we know something and just because it's so simple and you're like, yeah, my parents have been telling me that for years. How many times have our parents have been telling us, stop overthinking and worrying, just be yourself. Years and years my mum and dad used to say to me, just relax, be yourself and you'll get a girlfriend. Stop worrying, stop overthinking about what to say. Just be honest, just say hello, just say nice to meet you. You're going to meet someone. But how hard is it to apply it when you're terrified, when you're lonely, when you're stressed out, when you're worrying, it's not easy. So that's why it's something that you've got to practice daily and for life. You know, because as I said, there's days where it's easy for me. And a lot of you, it's nice. You'd be like, oh, it looks so easy. You speak with such confidence. Yeah, I do, but it's not easy for me. It's not easy. I've come from a very shy, nervous, awkward, worrying, OCD, overthinking everything background. I practice it. I've been practicing this for more than 12 years, probably 20 years. And I practice it every day to help people and to move forward. So this is how you overcome excessive anxiety and overthinking in any area of life, in any situation, dating, relationships, business, family, traveling, you name it. There's even more things that I forgot to name off where you can apply it, all right? If you've enjoyed this video, right, blood sport, bottom one, let me know in the box below, share, like with a friend, and I appreciate all the support you guys are giving me. You guys have been supporting me for years, you're brilliant, all right? I'll speak to you soon, have a good day, bye.